Learnity. So we'll solve those questions, previous year questions. Okay, just wait. Okay, so this was the question which we were doing yesterday. So let's see. So I'll try to solve it once again. Just So this was the question where they have given that p is equals to an odd prime number. So p is equals to odd prime number. Okay, and a b c d. Yeah, if okay, yeah, so Viksha, you can. Okay, so p is odd prime number and tp with the following set. So we have already seen. So we will form three cases. So let's see. The case one was when both are means tp is same. tp is both. That means tp is symmetric as well as skew symmetric. Okay, in this case we have seen that if this is the case, then only one form of matrix which will be present, which is 0 0 0 0. Okay, only this will be present, and this matrix, the determinant of this one will also be divisible by p. Okay, so this is also divisible by p. Okay, p is a prime. Case second case was yeah, it was symmetric. Okay, so second case was symmetric. So in symmetric case, so we can form a symmetric case so such that this will be the matrix. So suppose we have a and b, right? So that means the determinant of this matrix will be a square minus b square, right? So that means we can write this as a minus b into a plus b, right? Now see, either this will be divisible or this will be divisible. Either this will be divisible by p or this will be divisible by p. A minus b can only be divisible by p because we have the element still p minus 1. So a minus b can only be divisible by p when a minus b is equal to 0. That means a minus b is equals to 0. That means a is equals to b, right? In only that case this will be divisible. So that means the kind of a so we can take values of a from 0 to p minus 1. We can take values of a from 0 to p minus 1. So total number of cases here will be p, because from 0 to p minus 1. Now see, in this only we have taken one of the case where the determinant where the matrix will be of this form. So this case has already been covered in this. Okay, fine. So this will be one of the case. So when this is divisible, you will have total number of cases as a minus b. So a minus b is equal to 0. So total number of cases will be p. Okay, now let's see when a plus b is divisible. So when a plus b is divisible when a plus b is divisible, so a plus b is divisible, so that means a and b will be of such form such that a and b will be of such form. So I'm writing a and b. So this will start from a will start from suppose 1, because with 0 there will be no such b. With 0 a there will be no such b. So it will start with 1, so b will become p minus 1. So b will become p minus 1. A will be 2, so b will become p minus 2. This will keep on continuing till a becomes p minus 1 and b becomes 1. Okay, so if I'll remove this case, so total number of cases will be p minus 1. Okay, so here we have, for this one we have p, and this one we have p minus 1 cases, right? So I'll just circle this. So here we have p, so here we have p minus 1. So total, if I'll add these two, so total number of cases will be 2p minus 1. Okay, now the last case is when we have skew symmetric. So skew symmetric matrix will be of such form. So the case 3 will be skew symmetric. Skew symmetric matrix. Okay, in skew symmetric matrix we will have such a and b minus b. Okay, so this will 0 because we are adding 2, right? So the total number of cases will be only when we'll add this one. So total number of cases will be 2. Okay, fine. So just copy this one. Now are you able to hear? Now is the voice clear? Still it is breaking. Okay, just wait. Just okay. Now is it fine? Now am I audible? Now the voice is clear? Yes? Okay. So do you want me to explain once again? Do you want me to so last okay, so what happens is first case was when it is symmetric as well as skew symmetric. So okay, so first case was symmetric as well as skew symmetric. So symmetric as well as skew symmetric. So only one case is possible when it is 0 comma this one 0 0 0 0. Yeah, so this case is for both because they have asked for symmetric, skew symmetric, and both. So this is for both. When it is symmetric, we will have two cases because symmetric we will have two forms. A minus b into a plus b will be able to break. When it is of this form, so this will be a minus b into a plus b. So we will see all the parts. We will see all the parts where a minus b is divisible. So a minus b is only divisible when p a is equals to b. So we will have total number of cases as p. A plus b is only divisible when it is of this form 1 p minus 1, 2 p minus 2, and so on. So we will form all the number of cases. So from here we are having p, and from here we are having 2p minus p minus 1. So from here total number of cases is 2p minus 1. This case has already been counted in this. This case 1 has already been counted in this, right? I hope this is fine. Now see, right? So this is okay. Now see, in the last case, this is a skew symmetric case. So skew symmetric case, this will be a minus b minus b. But we know in skew symmetric case, this part will be 0, but this is 0 0. So this will be so determinant will be a square plus b square, right? But because this is skew symmetric, a value will be 0, right? So a value will be 0. So this b square cannot be divisible by p. By b square will not, there will be no b such that this will be divisible by p, because we have value of b will belongs to only 0 to p minus 1, right? 0 to p minus 1. Okay, b can only belongs to 0 to p minus 1. So only one case is possible in this also, which is this form 0 0 0 0, right? So only this case is possible, and this case has already been counted in the second case. So the total number of cases is 2p minus 1. So answer for this one is 2p minus 1. I think yesterday I gave answer as 2 into p minus 1, right? Because I think subtracted this case from this. I thought that it is counting twice, right? But I removed this case completely. No. So answer is 2p minus 1. 2 into p minus 1, है ना? 2 into p minus 1. Okay, one more thing that one of you asked that how to solve this case, how to solve this question easily, like in a shortcut, right? So one of the another method is that if in exam, if you are not able to think in this way, you can take p as, because they have given p as an odd prime number. They have given us p as an odd prime number. So you take smallest odd prime number. Take smallest odd prime number. The smallest odd prime number can be 3. So if you take p as 3, so now a, b, and c will belongs to only these elements 0 1 2, right? From here you can form all the matrices, and then from there you can find. But the problem with this is you have to form now 2 to the power so 3 to the power, so 3 to the power 3. So now each element has 3 options. So 3 to the power 3, you have to form 9 matrices, right? Which can be a longer, which will take a longer time. So if you are using, if you are, suppose in the exam, if you are using this method, then it is fine. But if you are using this method, you have to start using this method only, because this will take more time than this one. Yes, understood? Understood? Fine. So just copy this one. I hope this one is okay. Fine. I hope this one is okay. Now the next question of this, next part of this question was, yeah. So next part was this one. The number of no, the next part was, let me see. Yes, this was the next part. So just try to solve this one also. So next part was the number of A in TP such that the trace of A is not divisible by P, but determinant of A is divisible by P. So we have already seen the total number of determinants which are divisible by P. The total number of determinants which are divisible by P are 2P minus 1. This is the total number of determinants which is determinant of A divisible by P. So we have 2P minus 1. Now you just have to check in this how many are such cases whose trace is not divisible by P. Whose trace is not divisible by P means what is the trace? Trace is the sum of all the principal diagonal elements. Sum of all the principal diagonal elements. That means trace will become, in this case, the trace will become trace of A. Trace of A will become 2A because the determinant is of the form of A, and these are the other elements. So that means 2A should not be divisible by P. 2A should not be divisible by P. But determinant of A should be divisible by P, right? So in this case, what we can do is, okay, do you want to try or should I solve? Just try for 1 minute. Just try for 1 minute. Let's see. Okay, fine. Yes. So what we can do is, okay, if you solve, then I'll solve. Okay. So determinant of A they have given as a square minus BC. Now what we know is that A is trace of A. If 2A is not divisible by P, is not divisible by P, right? Sir, where is the question is mentioned trace of A is equals to 2A, or we are taking that information from? Nahin, bachche, trace of A. Trace of A is nothing but sum of the principal diagonal elements, sum of principal diagonal elements, and they have given the matrix as, this kind. So it will be just the sum of these elements. So 2A trace will directly become 2A, right? This is the from question only I'm taking it. Hai na, Vishnu? Okay. Fine. So they have given that 2A is not divisible. If 2A is not divisible by P, that this means that A is also not divisible by P. Right? Understood? So if 2A is not divisible by P, then we know that A will also be not divisible by P. So what, and determinant of A should be divisible by P. So what I can take is determinant of A is equals to A square minus BC, and if this is divisible by P, then I can take it as a factor of P. I can take it as a factor of P. So let it become a lambda P. Okay, or you can take any other constant. So A is equal to minus BC is equals to lambda P. We can take that, okay, this one is divisible by P. So this this be a factor, right? Now what we can do, because we know that A belongs to 0 to P minus 1. We know that this is true when, so A will have P minus 1 ordered pair. So this total will have P minus 1 ordered pair because 0 is divisible. So that means A can take values only from 1, 2 till P minus 1 because these elements won't be divisible, right? These elements won't be divisible. So A can take how many pairs? A can take P minus 1 pairs. A can take P minus 1. A can take P minus 1 pairs. So A can take P minus 1 values. right? So if A can take P minus 1 values, then we can have P minus 1 ordered pair of B and C, then we can have P minus ordered pair of B and C, right? Because for each A, we will have B minus 1 BC. For each A we will have BC, some BC, so that we will have A square, so that this condition will satisfy. Understood? So that means the total for each value of A belonging to 1 2 3 P minus 1, there are P minus 1 ordered pair for BC for such B into C such that A minus BC is divisible by P. Hence there are P minus 1 whole square matrices. Why P minus 1 whole square? Because P minus 1 for B and P minus 1 for C. So P minus 1 whole square matrices will be formed for BC. Understood? Fine. Copy this one also. Fine. Why P minus 1? Because 0 is also included. So if we'll exclude 0, so total number of A which we can take is P minus 1, right? And for each P minus 1, B and C can take different values. Okay. So let's copy this one also. Okay. Now the last part they have given is the number of A's such TP such that determinant is not divisible by P. By number of A such that determinant of A is not divisible by P, we have already found out the total number of determinants which are the total number of matrix which the total number of matrix which can be determinant of A will be divisible by P, which is nothing but 2P minus 1, right? This is the total number, right? And we know the total number of matrix, the total number of possible matrix which we can form here, A, B, C, right? The total number of matrix which we can form here, because each element can take how many, each element A, B, C, this can take how many values? So each A, B, C can take 0 to P minus 1. So how many values? Each one can take P values, right? So total number of matrix TP will become P cube, right? Total number of matrix TP will become P cube because each can take P elements, right? So that means each one can total number of matrix which will be formed is P cube, right? Now see, they have given the number of A's in TP such that determinant of A is not divisible by P. Such that determinant of A is not divisible by P. So this is the total element, total P minus of the total determinants which we have, the total matrices which we have whose determinant was divisible by P was 2P minus 1. So this will become P cube minus 2P plus 1. Okay. So copy this one. I think you do not have answer here. Fine. Okay. So copy this one also. Then we'll move forward. So I've started with this one because we we left with this question only in the last. Okay. So now we'll start with the previous year question from the beginning. Okay. So just copy this one also. I think this option is not here. Okay. So this option is not here. I think the question is not correct. Question must be something else. So the number of A, if they are asking such that determinant of A is not divisible, then you can just. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I think. Acha, okay, okay. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, yeah. Sorry. So what they are saying is, yeah, yeah. So yes, total number of, yes, yes. Total number of matrix is T cube. Yes, yes. Previous case was, yes, correct. So previous case was only with skew symmetric, symmetric and both. Right, right. So now what we have to do is we have to find the total number of matrix. Yeah, total number of matrix which are divisible, whose determinant is not divisible by P. So we have to find the total number of matrix who are determinant of A is divisible by P, right? So okay, so now we will find the total number of matrix whose determinant of divisible by P. So let's see, so how can we find? So what we can do is yes, So we can find this by, okay, so we have total number of matrices TP. The number of matrix TP whose trace is divisible by P is P square. Okay, so we have A square minus BC. So this should be divisible by P. So lambda P we can write. Okay, so yeah, previously we have found the total number of matrix whose trace is divisible by whose trace is okay, so if we can find yes. So if P square which symmetric, sir, that P 2P minus 1 the matrix which are symmetric, we also have to find the values that are not symmetric or skew symmetric, undivisible by, yes, correct. Okay, so try this one for 1 minute. So we have to find the total number of matrix whose uh, other than symmetric as well as skew symmetric also. For symmetric, skew symmetric and both we have found. So we have to find this one. So let's see. Okay, so let's see. So in the previous case, we have already found, yeah, answer is this. I think answer is D. So in the previous case, we have already found, that if the trace of the total number of matrix TP such that the trace is divisible. So total number, so this was a total number of matrix in TP whose trace is divisible by P, was P minus 1 whole square, right? So if A is also divisible by P, if A can take any value, so we can write this as P square by trace is divisible by P, total number of matrix whose trace was not divisible. We have found it P minus 1 whole square, right? So from here, what we can find, if A can also take any value. If A can also take any value, then A can take 0 also, then total number of cases will be P square, right? So if this is total number is P square, so that means this is the total number of matrix whose A can also take any value. Right? So total number of matrix whose determinant is divisible by A is P square. So T cube minus P square. So from second option only, because here what we have got is, here we have found the trace. Trace is not divisible. So then you have to find the total number of determinants which are divisible by P, right? But if suppose in the third case we are saying that for any trace find the total number of determinant, so total number of cases will be P square, right? Because now A can take a P number of values from 0 to P minus 1. Okay, so just copy this one also. So the answer will be yes. Okay, fine. Just copy this one. Okay, now next question. So this this is second question. I think some of you asked this question also. There is an error in this question. What I think is that this should be log L, I guess. So the actual question is log L P1 log M Q1 log N R1. Okay, so just find this. Now solve this one, where L, M, and N are the N Pth, Qth, and Rth GP. Yeah, I think the question is something like this. Some of you were confused that how this is possible that for log 1 it is, right? So take this as log L and then try to solve. Take 1 minute and then try to solve. I think you will get the answer. The answer should be, yeah, answer is 0. Yes. Yes. So I think this is correct. I think it should be log L, right? One of you has said yes. Okay. So let's see. So what we can do, log L is, so we can take Pth, Qth, and Rth terms. So log L, I can write as log A first term into R to the power P minus 1. Okay. Or R to the power P I will take. Okay. I will take R to the power P. Okay. Same thing. So this will become log A plus log R to the power P, so P will come outside, है ना? Okay, Yes, so this will be, the first term will become log A plus P log R, right? And we have P1. Then second term will become log A plus Q log R. Then we'll have Q1. Then we'll have log A plus PQR. R log R, we have R1. Yes. So now what we can do, because we have PQR here same, so we can break this whole determinant into two form. We can, yes, we can break this whole determinant into two form. We can, and one determinant will be formed by removing this part, one determinant will be formed by removing this part, other determinant will be formed by removing this part, right? So when we will remove this part, this will have PQR, PQR, so this will become 0, this will become 0, right? So this will come out as 0. So now we have log A P1, log A Q1, and log A R1. Log A we can take out, so this will become again 1, 1, 1, right? Log A we can take out, so this will become 0. Okay, so because two of the columns are exactly same. Okay, so let's copy this one also. Yeah, it is r to the power n minus 1, but it won't make any difference. Na? Suppose if I'm taking p minus 1, q minus 1, then also it will be same. That is why I'm taking p and q and r only. So you can write it as capital P, you can write it as capital R. It will be exact same. Understood, Vishnu? Yeah, it will be p minus 1, but I'm taking this up. It's a constant, right? So see, even if you'll take p minus 1, q minus 1, and r minus 1, it will be exactly same. See, even if you'll take p minus 1, so log a plus p minus 1 into log r, p1, log a, log b into q minus 1 into log r, q1, log, log a, r minus 1 log r, r1. Okay, again you will have same thing. Again you will have same thing. When you will break this into two parts, you will have p minus 1, q minus 1, r minus 1, right? And pqr, log r you can take out, that will become 0, and you can again take out this separately and this separately. When you will take this separately, this a will come out, which will become 1, and then you will have this separately, again you will have same thing. Okay, fine. Should I solve it completely, or should I, everybody understood? है ना? Even if you'll take here capital P, capital Q, and capital R, it will be same. Understood? है ना? Okay, very good. So just copy this one. Right, so the only difference was here, it was log L. Something did. है ना? Okay, very good. Okay, next question. So number of distinct solution of the equations, this, है ना? Just take 1 minute, try to solve it. There was some student asked this question also. Take 1 minute, try to solve this question also. It's a simple question, just little bit of trigonometry is involved. Yes. Okay. Okay. If you have already tried, then let's solve this. So they have given the number of distinct solution of equation sin x, cos x, this thing in the interval, this thing. So first thing is, if I look at this sin x, cos x, cos x, so I will write SCC only. So I will write SCC, then CSC, then you have CCS. Okay. So see, one thing we can do that we can directly open the determinant. That is also not a problem. है ना? We can directly open as a determinant. But because we know that if I'll sum all the columns, if I'll sum all the elements of the columns, then we will get S plus 2C in all. S plus 2C in all. So what I will do, I will do one column operation, that C1 is equals to C1 plus C2 plus C3. Okay, C1 plus C2 plus C3. So I will get S plus 2C, S plus 2C, and S plus 2C. So S plus 2C I will take common. Then you will have 1 C and C. You have, you have 1 SC, and here you have 1 CS. I hope this one is okay. Now s plus 2c I have taken, they have given this as equal to 0. This is equal to 0. Now what I will do, because I have 1 here, all are ones. So what I will do, I will take row 1 as row 1 minus row 3 and row 2 as row 2 minus row 3, right? I will subtract row 3 from this and row 3 from this. So I will get 0, 0 here, and then I can just expand. So this will become s plus 2c. When I subtract this, so this will become 0. This will become c minus s. This will become 0, right? Okay, 0, c minus s. This will become 0. Then you, sorry. Oh, sorry. I'm saying 0. Then this will become 0, and this will become c minus s, right? This will become 0. This will become 0, and this will become c minus s. Okay, that is enough. So 1 s c, 1 c s. Okay. I just need one operation. I just need one operation. Okay, this one is okay. So what I will get, this minus this, this minus this, this minus this will 0, this minus this will become 0, this minus this will become c minus s. So I will simply write, so this will become s plus 2c into c minus s into c minus s into c minus s. C minus s should be equal to 0. So that means I will get s plus 2c into c minus s is equal to 0. Well, that means, sorry, that means I will have s plus 2c is equal to 0. Either s plus 2c is equal to 0 or or c minus s is equal to 0. Yes, c minus s means c minus s whole square. C minus s is equal to 0. Now they have already given that x belongs to minus pi by 4 to pi by 4. X belongs to minus pi by 4 to pi by 4. I think minus pi by 4 is included. Remember, these are very important. Included 4 and excluded 1. So when I will take this one, so s is equals to minus 2c. S is equals to minus 2c. So s by c is equals to minus 2. So that means tan of x is equals to minus 2. Tan of x is equals to minus 2. Tan of minus pi by 4 is equals to minus 1. Is equals to minus 1. That means, are you able to hear me properly? Hello? Are you able to hear me properly? Voice is not breaking, I hope. Okay. Yes. So here tan of minus pi by 4 is minus 1. Anything less than that will give you lesser value, right? So that means this case is not possible. Tan of x can never be equals to minus 2. Fine. This is okay. This is okay, I hope, because minimum value you can go to is minus pi by 4. Now let's see, c is equals to s. C is equals to s. That means c is equals to s. That means c is equals to s. That means s by c is equals to 1. That means this will only take when it is s is equals to c. That means tan of x is equals to 1. That means x should be equals to pi by 4, right? But remember, in the previous a2 not 0. So remember this x should be pi by 4, but pi by 4 is not included. You will not have any solution for this, right? A21 bacha, I'm subtracting 1 from the 1, so 0. This is c from c, so this is 0, and c from s, so c minus s. C from s, so c minus s. Understood, Subiksha? A21 is 0. A21 is 0. This is 0. A21. Sorry. Okay. Understood? No. I'm just doing, because first I'm getting 2 zeros in the first row only, so I'm not doing R2. I'm not doing R2 is equals to R2 minus R3. I'm not doing any other. I thought we have to do 2 operations, but with one only we are getting, so there only. Achha, in the actual question both, but okay. So in this question, this is not included, but Srivatsan is saying that it was included. If it is included, pi by 4 is included, then one solution. If it was included, if pi by 4 was included, then one solution. But here it is not included, so only so it's only 0 solution. Understood? Just copy this one. I hope this one is okay also. Everybody understood, I hope. Okay. Okay. So now next question is this one. This question, the repeated root of the coordination
Hello. Okay. So students kindly wait. I'll just check what happened. Okay. So he's trying to connect it. He got disconnected. To connect it. So
announce something. Okay, fine. Okay, so some internet issue. So let's see. So we were solving this one. So if we know that in, so this is a homogeneous equation. This is a system of homogeneous equation. So we know for homogeneous equation, we will have trivial solution. We'll have a trivial solution. If d is not equal to 0, that means x is equals to 0 is equals to y is equals to z, right? All are equal to 0, and we'll have non-trivial solution. We'll have non-trivial solution if d is equal to 0. We'll have, for homogeneous, we'll have very simple. So this is the homogeneous equation. So let's form the value of d. Let's see what d is. So we'll have lambda sine a. You are able to hear, right? Everyone is able to hear? Am I audible? Yeah, okay. Am I audible? Yeah, okay, fine, fine. Okay, okay. So this is lambda sine alpha cos alpha. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay. So this is yeah. So this is 1 cos alpha sine of alpha, and this is -1. This is sine of alpha, and this is minus of cos of alpha, right? So see, so we have this thing. Let me just tally lambda sine alpha cos alpha. 1 cos alpha sine alpha minus 1 sine alpha minus cos alpha. Yeah. So this is the value of d, right? And d should be equal to 0 for us to get non-trivial solution, because they have said non-trivial solution. So I will simply find out what is the value of d. We can add or subtract something. Okay, so let's simply find out, because cos square minus sine square. Okay, so this is lambda into cos square minus cos square alpha minus sine square alpha. So this is c square minus c square minus s square, right? Minus c square minus s square minus s I'm opening through first row. I'm opening the determinants through first row. So this will become minus S into minus C plus S. Okay, then C into S plus C. Okay, so this is minus 1 minus S minus sine square minus cos square is minus lambda minus 1 minus of, so this will become, so I will just, so this is minus S minus C, so this is plus SC, this is minus S square minus S square, this is plus CS, and this is plus C square is equals to, this should be equal to 0, right? So let's see. So we have got minus lambda plus plus C square plus cos square alpha minus sine square alpha plus 2 cos alpha and sine alpha. Okay, now see, to find the range of lambda, what I can, this is equal to 0. To find the range of lambda, I can bring this lambda on the other side. So this is cos square alpha minus sine square alpha plus 2 cos alpha sine alpha is equals to lambda, right? Now to find the range of lambda, we have why there will be a limitation to lambda, because lambda is equals to a trigonometric function. Yes, very good. So now this will be cos square alpha minus sine square alpha, I can write as cos of 2 alpha, right? 2 cos alpha sine alpha I can write as sine of 2 alpha, right? And we know that for this one, the maximum and minimum value will be, the maximum minimum value of this function is from minus root 2 to root 2. The maximum minimum value of this function is from minus root 2 to plus root 2, both included. So this is equals to lambda. So lambda will also be equals to minus root 2 to plus root 2. Understood? Fine. Everybody understood this part? I hope everybody knows this, how we will get this one. I hope everybody knows how we are getting this part. Yes? Okay, fine. So copy this one also. This we have done in trigonometry. The maximum and minimum value of A sin x plus B cos x, right? So we divide and multiply this with under root of A square plus B square, and we divide this with under root of A square plus B square. So we will multiply and divide. So this A square plus B square will, so A by under root of A square plus B square sin x plus B by under root of A square plus B square cos x. This will into under root of A square plus B square, right? So this will be minus plus. Okay. Here A is 1, B is 1. Understood? Yes. Plus minus root of, yes. Understood? So just copy this one also. Okay. So next. So 25th. So let's see. So yeah, okay. Okay. So they have given A11. Yeah, I think there was some mistake in the question. I was checking it because this actually the question was, so I'm telling you the original question was, this was not there. This part was not there. So the actual question was, I will write and then I want you to solve. So they have given, so this was also not there. So they had given that if there is a matrix X such that Ax is equals to U, infinitely many solution, then show that for ADF not equal to 0, I think this was Bx is equals to V will not have unique solution. Okay, they had given this was the original question, and just I think this question was, and A was equals to, I'll write the A value also, A01 1 DB and 1 CB. Okay, this was the original question. So just solve using this. Okay, try to solve using this. Change the value of A. So this was D and this was C. However, I think it won't matter much, but this was the original question. Just write the original question where they have asked you to find. So this was given that matrix A such that Ax is equals to V has infinitely many solutions. So this was given. as infinitely many solution, then you have to show that ADF is not equal to 0, ADF is not equal to 0, and Bx is equals to V will not have a unique solution. Can we equate it? Can we equate in terms of X? You can do that, bache. You can do. So let's see. So, okay. So they have given that this has infinitely many solutions. So for infinitely many solution, if you remember, the condition was that D should be equal to 0, D1 should be equal to 0, D2 should be equal to 0, and D3 also should be equal to 0. So this we have for infinitely many solution for this matrix. So AX we have AX is equals to U, and U is FGH. U is FGH. Okay. So now I will find the value of D. First, I will find the value of determinant D. So what I can do, I can just subtract the row 3 with row 3 with row 2. If I will subtract row 3 with row 2, okay, 15. Okay, I will check. So after this is row 3 or row 2. So A is equals to A01. So if I'll subtract this will become 1dB. This will become 0. This will become C minus D, and this will become 0. Right? So what I'm doing here is I'm taking R3 as R3 minus R2. Okay, so I'm doing one row operation. So this will become simply as this. So determinant of D. So determinant of D, or sorry, determinant of A. So determinant of A will be, so C minus D into minus, this into minus AB minus 1. So this is AB minus 1, right? So first thing is that this should be 0. Okay, the first thing is that this should be 0. That means C minus D into AB minus 1 should be equal to 0. So this is the first condition we have got. Okay, now let's try to find out the value of D1 also. So D1 I will find in this matrix A when I will substitute FGH in this matrix A when in column 1. So FGH, and this is 0 DC, this is 1 BB. Okay, so when I'll substitute this, I will find the value of D1. So when I'll find the value of D1, this is F into DB minus CB, 0 into something, so this plus 1, 0 into something is 0, so this is 1, GC minus HD. Okay, so this is simply F B, F into B into D minus C plus GC minus HD is, fine. This is the value of D1. Second, D2, I will find D2. So D2 is equals to, when I will substitute FGH in the second column. So this will be, I will write the matrix, sorry, I will write the matrix once again here. So A11, 0, DC, and we have 1 BB. Okay, so in this case, I will write D2 will be A11, and here we'll have FGH, and here we have 1 BB. Okay, so again D2 value of D2 I will find. So D2 will be A into GB minus HB plus, sorry, minus F into B minus B. So this is B minus B will be 0. F into 0 plus 1 into you will have H minus G. Right? So this is equals to D2. So I will just simplify this. So A into H into G into B. Okay, this is G into B. So A into B, G minus H plus H minus G. Okay, so this will simply become G minus H and S minus G. So G minus H and H minus G I can take common. So this is G minus H I can take common. So this is AB minus 1. Okay, so this is D2. Now D3, we have D3 as A11, 0 DC and FGH. So if I'll expand this one also, so this will become A into DH minus GC plus 0 into something and F into D minus C. So this will This is D3. So F into, sorry, C minus D. F into C minus D is equal to 0. Now see, what they've asked is, they have asked that this system of equation Ax is equals to this, Ax is equals to u will have infinite, he will have infinite many solution. So for infinite many solution, d1, d2, d3 and d1, d2, d3 all have to be 0, right? So we can form two cases. We can form cases that, okay, c minus d can be 0, either c minus d is equal to 0 or ab minus 1 equal to 0, right? We can have two cases, either c minus d is equal to 0 or ab minus 1 is equals to 0. That means here we have c is equals to d or ab is equals to 1. Okay, if c is equals to d, we can find the value of d1. We can find the value of d1. D1 will be, d1 will become, if c is equals to d, then d1 will become d minus c. This will become 0. This will become equal to 0. And here we will have c is equals to d. So we will have G is equals to H from here, if C is equals to D, right? So like that, you can form different cases. So first case you can form, is C minus D, and you can write down that D1, D2, D3 0, when what will happen, right? Then you can have AB is equals to 1 from previous one, AB is equals to 1, and then you can have the values of F, G and H, right? You write down those cases and see for which values it will become 0, and then use these cases to find the solution of the next one. Okay, there will be one determinant, for the second solution, for second set of equation. There will be one determinant in which ADF will be, you will get ADF, okay, A square DF, I guess. And from there you can see if ADF is not equal to 0, then it will have no solution. Okay, so we'll solve this question, next in next class, in tomorrow's class. Okay, one more thing. So today I will give you homework. So today I will give you today's homework is, so now you have to solve from 29. So we have solved till 29. So today's homework is from 30 till 39. So you have to solve 10 questions today, and the time frame is 2 days. So till Saturday you have to, Thursday, today, Thursday, then Friday, till Saturday you have to submit this. Okay, I will form a marks list, internal marks list today, and which I will share with you tomorrow. Okay, all those who have submitted the assignment, I will form an internal marks list today, and that I will submit tomorrow. That this marks list will be final. This marks list will be carried over for your JEE board exam also. Okay, so now I'll share the PDF. The remaining question will solve tomorrow. Due date is bacha Saturday. Till Saturday you have to submit. Saturday is the last day for you to submit. So like I will check all the students who have submitted the okay. Raghu Ranjit, I will solve this tomorrow. Don't worry. Hana, we'll start with this question only. Don't worry. Okay, and remember your class is still 45. So do not start leaving the class at 10:30. Okay. Today was the due date for first 30 question. Now tomorrow you have to do, for 2 days you have to do 10 questions. This I will post in Learnity also. So you have to submit the assignment. Okay, fine. I've shared the PDF. Please check the PDF. Please download the PDF. Okay. Take care. Solve the remaining questions which we will discuss in the coming classes. Okay. Thank you.